Anel and Jihoon Part 3. Yura arrived late night the next day, very determined and willing to do anything to get Jihoon back. Minjae's plan was already in motion. The company's annual exhibition was one of the most anticipated corporate events in Korea. Jihoon would be there. So would investors, executives, and the press, carefully calculating the impact. He knew his stepbrother's growing closeness to Anelle was a threat. Yura was the perfect disruption. She would appear like a storm, and Jihoon would have no choice but to face his past. Jihoon stood by the window, staring out at the city. Today he had already decided. No meetings, no interruptions. He picked up his phone and called his secretary. "Good morning, Mr. Han," she said, voice sharp and alert. "Cancel all my appointments for the next 2 days." There was a beat of stunned silence. "Sir?" "You heard me. I'll attend the weekend event. But until then, handle everything else." "Understood." Jihoon hung up and turned toward the kitchen, where the smell of warm toast and fruit greeted him. Anel was in the kitchen preparing some toast and waiting to ask Jihoon about his favorite breakfast. Jihoon smiled slightly and joined them. After breakfast, Jihoon asked Anel to coin him bring Sion to school. This excited the little boy, who immediately hugged Anel. "Thank you, Uncle Jihoon," he cheered. Jihoon looked at Anel, silently wondering how could such a soul exist. His heart beat so fast that as he watched the way Anel was caring for Sion, he silently whispered, "Please be the one for me," but no one heard it. Later that morning, Anel stepped out onto the terrace and made a quick call to Susan. She expected joy on the other end, but Susan's voice was distant. When Anel shared her news, Susan only said, "Wow, things really worked out for you." Then more quietly she added, "Do they need anyone else there? Maybe I could come too." Anel, missing the hidden envy in her tone, smiled and promised to ask. She hung up with mixed feelings, happy but strangely unsettled. That afternoon, the tutor Jihoon had arranged arrived, a kind older woman with a warm smile and firm voice. Anel was shy at first, but the tutor later told Jihoon, "She's quick to learn, eager, focused. There's something rare about her." After dropping Sion off at school, Jihoon didn't drive back home. "Where are we going?" Anel asked. "You'll see," Jihoon said with a soft smile. They drove out of the city, the tall buildings giving way to hills and quiet fields. Eventually they arrived at a horse ranch with long wooden fences and peaceful silence. "This was my father's," Jihoon said, stepping out. "He left it to me. I come here when I need to think." They walked slowly past the stables, watching the horses graze. "I want to ask you something," Jihoon said. "For the company gala, I want you to come. As my girlfriend." Anel's eyes widened. "I just need someone by my side who I can trust," he added. "I'll pay you, of course. Whatever you want." She looked at him quietly. "Not everything is about money, Jihoon." He paused. "I didn't mean to offend." "You didn't," she said softly. "But if this helps you, I'll do it." Relief flickered across his face. Then his eyes turned serious. "There's something else you should know. About Yura." Jihoon told her everything. How Yura had drugged him. How she claimed they'd slept together. How she tried to force him into marriage. How his best friend Taiho found the truth. A secret video proving Jihoon had been unconscious that night. There had never been any intimacy, and no wedding. "She's living in the UK now," Jihoon said. Anel listened in silence, absorbing the pain beneath his words. "I won't let her hurt you," he said. "That I promise." That evening, Jihoon waited until Sion was asleep, before handing Anel a small black box. She opened it carefully and gasped. Inside was a golden hairpin shaped like a lily and a necklace with her name engraved. "I saw it and thought of you," Jihoon said. Tears filled Anel's eyes. "No one has ever given me something like this. No one's ever cared like this. Except my mom." He moved closer. "Can I give you a hug?" She nodded, and he wrapped his arms around her carefully. She leaned into him, tears spilling freely. He held her, silent and strong. As they said goodnight to each other, Jihoon turned on his phone only to say the first message as, "Congratulations. You'll be a father soon." Jihoon stared at it, frozen. Then more alerts popped up. News bulletins, social media pings, press emails. Yura hadn't waited for the company event. She had gone public. Anel stepped back slowly, watching the color drain from his face as he scrolled in silence. Exclusive. Yura reveals pregnancy. I need support from the father, Jihoon. Tears and truth. Yura speaks on love, loss, and responsibility. His phone slipped from his hand, clattering to the floor. His chest rose and fell quickly. Too quickly. Jihoon, Anelle whispered, stepping closer. Couldn't answer. The walls spun. His knees buckled slightly as he gripped the edge of the table. Jihoon, breathe! Anelle cried, grabbing his arms, panic rising in her voice. If you have made it to the end, share to 5, follow and comment Anel and Jihoon for part 4. Thank you very much.